Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. In today's video we are going to be talking about an extremely beautiful succulent called as the Echeveria Suyon. Now this looks very different from our regular Echeverias. As we all know, Echeverias are more like those round rosettes with pointed leaves, but this one is a little bit different when it comes to its appearance. Now, don't go according to the color of my Suyon, because this color is completely faded off. There are two reasons. One, because it's summers and they are in their growing period. Apart from that, because of the pre-monsoons, there is hardly much sunlight. Even though this is placed in a position where it's supposed to receive 5 to 6 hours of morning direct sunlight, but it was not getting enough light. However, the succulent is not stretched. As you can see, the leaves are still very compact because it does get a good amount of light. It's the only thing is that there is not much of direct sunlight. There is a lot of indirect bright light, or you can see it's very cloudy filtered light. So the succulent is very well compact. It's not stretching. The only thing is that the colors are missing. You have the slight amount of colors because the succulent was facing the opposite direction. That's why you can see the colors are only present on one side of the succulent. So this is how overall the succulent tends to look like. Now I'm absolutely fine if the colors are turned green, because during the growing period a lot of the Echeverias tend to change the color. If they had intense colors during the winters, during the summers most of the Echeverias will mellow down that intense color and will start getting more on the green shade, and that's absolutely okay. That's in fact much better, because that indicates that your succulent is healthy and it is getting into its growing period, or it is in its growing period, which is a very good sign. So don't be worried if your succulent is changing its color. It's absolutely okay. Now over here, as I said, these are the two reasons. One, because it's in its growing period. Apart from that, because of that cloudy weather, there is not much direct sunlight. So that is the reason why the colors are slightly faded off, which is absolutely okay. Probably once the winters come in, the succulent will start getting even more intense reddish orange color, because that's when they tend to go dormant. Now overall, this is a very easy to grow succulent. You can easily find it online. Even most probably in some of the nurseries you might happen to find this variety of Echeveria. Looks very unusual, very different from our regular form of Echeverias. Now talking about the soil mix, it remains the same what we give for our Echeverias, which has to be loose, porous, well draining and lean in nutrients. My soil mix, as you all know, it's 80% of aquarium sand and 20% of filtered garden soil. I don't use any fertilizers, and that is absolutely okay. The plant is going to do extremely well. You can also see my Suyon is also putting out some pups. There is a large pup right beneath, and there are some in between the leaves as well. So I'm quite excited about it. Let me try and check, because I did see there were some pups. There you go. Over here there are few of the pups that are growing in between the leaves. Usually this succulent tends to get very clumped up. It also starts to grow more vertically compared to horizontally, as most of our Echeverias, they tend to grow more horizontally, or they tend to spread wide. This one, they tend to grow more vertically. At times they might even happen to trail out of the pot, which is absolutely normal. So now, as of now, I'm just going to leave it as it is. I have been watering whenever the soil is completely bone dry. You have to wait, because again the leaves are very thin. They do not have very thick leaves, so you cannot add too much of water. If you're going to add too much of water, then the plant might end up getting edema, or there will be cracks developing on the lower leaves, and eventually the succulent will have a root rot. So ensure you're not watering too much. Wait for the soil to be completely bone dry. Probably after 2 or 3 days, once the soil is completely bone dry, then you can go ahead and do a complete watering until the water starts passing through the drain hole. Pest attack is very minimal on this succulent. I had a couple of them long time back. Again, the same issue, shifting of the house, I lost them. So what I have noticed is this particular variety of succulent does not get affected much with mealybugs or any kind of insects. It's quite resilient to a lot of pests. Apart from that, the most important thing, guys, this succulent requires a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. Only then this succulent is going to look absolutely beautiful. It's going to look very attractive. If you're going to keep it in less light, or if you're going to keep it in indirect bright light, in the long run, then definitely the succulent is not going to look very attractive, because the main feature of this succulent is the bright red color, or the reddish orange color that this succulent tends to get. I will put up the image if I can find on the screen, so you'll get a fair idea of how this succulent tends to look like when it is completely stressed. So ensure that you're giving a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours after acclimating it. If you're growing it indoor, ensure you're keeping it closer or below the grow light after acclimating it. Do not put any plant in artificial or direct sunlight without acclimating it, otherwise they will get burnt. So guys, it's an absolutely easy to grow succulent if you are a person who's looking out for a succulent that has really bright colors, and if you are a beginner, you want a very easy going succulent, then this is one of the succulent you can add in your collection. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.